You wanna build muscle and burn fat at the same time. You fat and skinny. I'ma show your fat, skinny ass how to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. Now you may be thinking, Brandon, my favorite fitness nerd influencer told me that you can't do that. He's right and wrong, but I'm more right. Your favorite fitness influencer grew up watching me. You can't burn fat and build muscle simultaneously unless it's like your first year of working out. Or if you're taking some crazy PEDs, then you can do it for sure. If you don't fit into any one of those two categories, you can't do it simultaneously, but you can do it within the same time period. If you use a strategy I call micro cutting and micro bulking. This is when people drop off when I break out the notebooks. But you're not stupid. You're not a dip. You can watch me draw so you can learn something, right, dumbass? Or you're just gonna stay fat and skinny forever. What we do is micro cut, micro bulk. So let's look at it like in the graph. This is when you're doing your micro cut, this is when you're doing your micro bulk. And here's how it works. Okay, I'm gonna get artistic on you motherfuckers, man. So this bottom line is where you have visible abs, boom. And this top line is when no abs. What we wanna do is you wanna cut until you have visible abs. And then you immediately start bulking. You don't want to get to no abs. You don't go all the way to the top to no abs. But when your abs start to not be as visible, not as pronounced, right before there's no abs, then you go back into a cut, visible abs. Then you bulk and you keep this charade going indefinitely. I'm going to tell you how to micro cut and micro bulk in a minute. Sometimes people will ask me, how long should each micro cut and micro bulk be? Doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that you follow these guidelines. You're gonna cut as long as it takes until you have visible abs. Cut first. And the reason we wanna cut first is because let's say you 15% body fat or something. Men's hormones start to change after 15% body fat. It doesn't fall off a cliff, but that's when it starts to decline. Your hormones start to go kind of out of whack. Your cortisol starts to rise, testosterone starts dropping at that level, and the more fat you put on, the more your testosterone will drop, the more your cortisol will raise. 15 is about the area where it's like, all right, things are starting to change. So that's why you should cut first. Also, you can lose fat faster than you can put on muscle because just biologically, burning fat is a simpler process. The fat cells just have to shrink. But to build muscle, where you have to break down the muscle fiber, then they have to rebuild stronger and cells have to grow and divide. It's just biologically, it's a more strenuous process. So if we cut first, you can get a quick win. So instead of being skinny fat or fat skinny, now you just skinny. But you immediately look better being just skinny. Somebody might want to have sex with your goofy ass if you're only skinny instead of skinny fat. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Let's say you put on a few pounds of muscle. It's going to look more impressive if you have very low body fat. Sometimes I cut and people say to me, damn man, did you get bigger? Pause. I be like, nah man, I actually lost weight, but because I cut, the proportions look different. Cuts in here look more pronounced. My waist is smaller, so my shoulders look bigger. So that's why we want to cut first. So when you see your abs, then you can start bulking, boom. And you do it for as long as it takes, and you keep the charade up. For me, it ends up being like, sometimes the bulk will be somewhere between 2 or 4 weeks. The cut is usually about 2 weeks because I never let myself get fat. Make no mistake, this is why people were accusing me of being on steroids for so long, man. Even though I'm not like crazy big, I weigh like 210 pounds. But people was like, man, he stays ripped all year round. That's because I've been doing this for over a decade. I have old videos, like at 10 years old, me explaining this protocol because we don't never want to get fat. We want to stay ripped all year round because we want to get pussy all year round. Makes perfect fucking sense to me. You don't want to only get pussy half the year because if you do a traditional bulk, you're going to get kind of fat and then your girl ain't going to be as excited to see you. And the next thing you know, she watching Brandon Carter videos alone, finger banging herself. Don't worry. I don't want your fucking girlfriend. My girlfriend's beautiful and I wouldn't fuck your girlfriend with my worst enemy's dick. This is how you stay ripped all year round. You can do this indefinitely. People say, how I'm always bulking or I'm always cutting. No in between. So how do you do the micro cut and micro bulk? I'm gonna keep it super simple for yo bitch ass. What you wanna do is, because I'm assuming you skinny fat. Look nigga, this ain't for you if you obese. So if you're skinny fat, all you gotta do is take your body weight in pounds, multiply that by 10. That's how many calories you need to get each day. So if your skinny fat ass weighs 180 pounds, then you gotta get 1,800 calories. That's the cut. So let's do a micro cut. Body weight times 10. You're also gonna get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? So if you 180, boom, you get 180 grams of protein. Light work. The reason you wanna get that much protein is because you want to retain as much muscle as possible. I know you're thinking of typing, some asshole on YouTube said I only need 0.7 or 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Why you still fat, nigga? If that shit would've worked for you, why you still watching videos on how to get ripped, how to build muscle and burn fat at the same time? I'm not watching videos about how to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. I'm making them for your skinny fat ass. Shut the fuck up. However, I will address your concerns. Your favorite influencer got that from some studies. And those studies are right, but you gotta remember that studies are done in controlled environments. We don't live in a controlled environment. We live in the real world. Planet Earth, which is my favorite planet, by the way. And in the real world, it's not so cut and dry how much protein you're getting because the FDA allows food labels to be off by 20%. So if you get a protein bar, and it says 10 grams of protein, nigga, it might be 8. It might be 12. You don't know, because it could be off by 20% in either direction. So in order to make up for that, let's just do 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That will make up for the potential loss of 20% because the FDA does allow all food labels to be off by 20%. It's really detrimental to not get enough protein, especially when you're cutting, because if you don't get enough protein, you will lose more muscle. If you get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you'll retain more muscle. I'm just gonna keep it simple for your goofy ass, right? You know, I could get more complex, but I'm not. If you just do that, you'll lose fat. But let's say we want to take it to the next level. We want to get crazy with it. You want to get more precise. What you do is you start tracking all your calories. You're going to have to track your calories anyway. Well, hold on, man. Before I continue, some of you guys don't want to track calories. I don't know how you became so soft. Was you born that way? Is it nature or nurture? I don't know how bitches is made. But you became one. Tracking your calories is not difficult. All you gotta do is just put numbers in the phone, bro. So you wanna track your calories with MyFitnessPal. You can set the goals in there, man. Be like, yo, MyFitnessPal, I want 180 calories per day, man, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you heard? Then you want to get a fitness tracker. You can get yourself an Apple Watch. I used to wear Apple Watch, but then I started getting rich, and I wear like rich nigga watches, right? But you know, I wear an Apple Watch and stuff, but you can wear an Apple Watch. You can use it with a Fitbit. You can get you a Whoop. The problem with the Whoop is sometimes I dress nice. I put on suits. I just speak at events, and you wearing a Whoop with a suit, now you just look like, fuck you doing, Inspector Gadget? You a fucking nerd, secret agent or some shit, nigga? Knock it off. It didn't go with all my attire. So I use the Oura Ring to track that, how many calories I burn each day. It also tracks my sleep and all that shit. Blends seamlessly with my attire. We want to track how many calories we burn and how many calories we consume. For every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn 3,500 calories extra, more than you consume. So now we're tracking both, man. Calories consumed, right? So you get 1,800 calories each day, good job. So you burn like 2,000 calories per day. You want to burn more than that. 250. So this is a formula that calculates your caloric deficit. If you want a sheet like this, I got a habit tracker called the Victory Vision Planner, links in the description. All right, boom. So you burn about 1.5 pounds of fat this week, and it's just math. And if you want to bump those numbers up, then boom, just make sure you're burning 1,000 calories per day. Like I have a spreadsheet similar to this, the Victory Vision Planner, and I put this shit in every day. See how much I consume, how much I burn, and it adds it up for me. One of the reasons I'm making videos about this shit and you watching them. So let's say you're in 1,000 calorie deficit each day, boom, you'll burn 2 pounds of fat per week. That's if you want to get more complex. If you don't want to do all that shit, just make sure you get body weight in pounds times 10. You'll still lose weight, it just won't be as precise, all right? So you might have to cut longer. Now with the micro bulk, we want to do the opposite, body weight times 20. I know that sounds aggressive, that's because it is, man. Aggressive. Still, we keep our just the same, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But now we're in a caloric surplus. We're doing way more. Let's say you're 180 and you're already ripped, you're ready to do it. Now you got to take 3,600 calories per day, and you just start tracking that shit. Make sure you get a lot of calories, because a lot of people say, man, I can't gain weight, I can't gain weight, I can't gain weight, I tried everything. Are you tracking your calories, bitch nigga? No? Oh, so you tried everything except the one thing that's guaranteed to work. Yeah, but tracking calories is hard, man. Maybe you're supposed to just be a bitch, man. Maybe you're supposed to look like a bitch as well as being a bitch. Because if you a bitch and you end up not looking like a bitch, now that's false advertising. And then you do this until when? Until your abs start to be less visible. Not till you have no abs. You don't go, you never go full no abs. And then you cut. Another good reason to do this is one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning. If you get like too fat, what happens is Your fat cells grow, then they divide and they split. That's what cells do. Once you get new fat cells, they never go away. You just have more fat cells forever. You'll have more fat cells forever. So now it'll be easier for you to put on fat because the fat cells all they gotta do is expand. They don't have to split. This is why when somebody has weight problems, they have weight problems forever. And that's gonna be you. Like some people, they go on the dirty bulk and they get super big doing a regular bulk. They let it go too fucking far and then motherfuckers never ripped again. Never get too fat. Never get too fat. This is real shit. Now, here's the thing. So it's not building muscle and burning fat at the same time, but it's within the same time frame. Because let's say you did this for a few months. Over the course of like 90 days, at the end of the 90 days, you will have built muscle and burnt fat. It's not the same time. Technically, it's not doing it simultaneously. You're doing it within the same time frame. All we're doing is taking the traditional bulk. It's like 6 months or a year or whatever these motherfuckers are doing. And then the traditional cut, which is like a long ass time, right? And we're just compressing it and we're just oscillating between the two in rapid succession. Again, how long can you do this? Forever. I've been doing this shit, no bullshit, since I was 16 years old. I started bulking and cutting. I got it from a dude named Bill Phillips. I used to read all his shit. He had a magazine called Muscle Media because we didn't have the internet. And I would get his magazine, and once he had an article, it was called Anabolic Burst Cycling. And he said just do it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks cut, 2 weeks bulk. 2 weeks cut, 2 weeks bulk. But that sounds like ridiculous. It seemed like the 2 weeks was arbitrary. I took that and flipped it, micro cutting and micro bulking. Cut as long as you need to, bulk as long as you can while maintaining your abs. But we didn't talk about the supplements. So the supplements you need, you've heard me talk about these supplements before. Let's start with the bulk, with the bulking stuff. Bulking stuff, so you're gonna take creatine, at least 5 grams. I think you should probably take more, right? Because creatine is not just good for building muscle. Matter of fact, you should take creatine on the bulk and the cut. You should take creatine all the time, every day. I've been taking creatine for 26 years in a row, every day. It's also good for brain health. It helps stabilize mood. There's some research that shows it can help with depression. Definitely improves cognitive function. This means like it has nootropic effects. Every human should take creatine, even if you don't work out. You're trying to build muscle and burn fat. Creatine will help you build muscle. It will help you keep more muscle while you're cutting. Another thing you should take on a bulk and a cut is Cialis. You should take this every day, year round. And you may be thinking, yo, man, I don't have erectile dysfunction. Why should I take Cialis? Well, there are studies that show, tons of studies that show Cialis actually helps you build muscle. So check this out here. I'm bringing up one of the studies now. This is PubMed. This is the generic name for the drug, so tadalafil. It improves lean mass. And there's tons, you can find other studies that corroborate that too. You know, because one of the ways that Cialis helps erectile dysfunction is it increases blood flow, circulation. That's what erection is, circulation. It increases blood flow, but through your whole body, not just to your junk, not just to the hammer, you know what I'm saying? It increases blood flow, which helps you with muscle mass, right? And it's gonna help you with muscle retention. Take it every day. It also has other health benefits as well. Like I've been taking it since I was like in my early 20s, man. You don't have to worry about getting aroused all the time. It doesn't work like that. Like you won't be walking around the gym with a boner and nothing like that because you have to be aroused to get an erection, you know? So yeah, I'm telling you, this is a cheat code. You know, if you don't want to take Cialis, why are you watching the video on extreme ways? It's in the title. Also, when you're cutting, see, because we have to keep our calories so low and our protein high, an easy way to do that is with like protein shakes. Protein shakes are not magic within themselves. It's just a convenient way to get protein. You can get a lot of protein with very low calories. I probably have less protein shakes when I'm bulking because I had to get so much food. I want high calorie foods. So what protein shakes should you take? You probably want to get something, the best would be like a whey isolate, because a whey isolate won't have the extra carbs or fat in it. Whey protein is totally safe. Whey protein is a byproduct of the cheese manufacturing process, so it's basically as natural as cheese. Whey protein is like the main ingredient in baby formula, right? So if babies can fucking drink it, I think you'll be all right, player. Another thing you might need for the cut and the bulk, honestly, man, caffeine. So caffeine is not mandatory during the bulk, but definitely during the cut, because caffeine will help you have more energy so you can burn more calories, and it reduces hunger. And if you want to take it another step to reduce hunger, you can get nicotine. You get it like a nicotine patch. I'm wearing one right now. Nicotine patch, because nicotine has been proven to reduce hunger, give you more energy. It actually is a nootropic. It increases cognitive function. So I wear nicotine patches all the time when I got to do a bunch of work. You know, and also there's some shit called Bronkaid. I talk about it all the time, but Bronkaid, I'm running out of space here. It has ephedra in it. You got to get it from the pharmacist, show your ID, but this dramatically decreases hunger. Like, it'll make you forget to eat. This is like part of the stack. I'll take like 200 grams of caffeine, slap on a nicotine patch, take a Broncaid, do that 2 or 3 times a day. Then I add something called ketone aid, and that helps with energy and hunger as well. So basically, man, we making our own Ozempic, right? Because all Ozempic does is make you not hungry. So this is a solid cut and stack right here. You know what I'm saying? And for bulking, creatine, Cialis, I can't think of no supplements except for Cialis. Cialis is the only like pharmaceutical grade supplement on my list. And that's it, man. You do this shit, within 90 days, you will have built muscle and burnt fat. It's the only way a natural can do it who's been lifting for like longer than a year or 2. If you are a trainer, you can also put your clients on this. If a client says they want to build muscle and burn fat, and they all will, you can have them to do this shit. When you get your progress report, photos from them, you'll be like, all right, I think it's time to bulk. All right, we've been bulking too long, now it's time to cut. And I'm telling you, you'll get better results. They'll be happier with you. And if you want to learn how to become an online trainer, that's how I made my first million. I taught over 15,000 people how to do it. I got a free ebook for you called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It'll show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience. It'll really give you the game. If you're already a trainer, it'll give you the game on how to take your business online and grow it the right way, where you can still get your clients great results, how to market yourself online, how to get clients online, and how to train them online. And if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of experience, then you really need to read it if this is something you want to do, because it's going to really give you a game plan. It's free, links in the description. All right.